welcome or welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I would love to discuss some new perfumes. All these perfumes are new to the market, but some of them have been on the market for longer than others, and so this is something that you're into, then stay tuned. And the first perfume I want to discuss is Existence by Amouage. And as you know, Amouage is not the easiest house. Their perfumes are pretty challenging, they're unique, they're very powerful, they're projecting, and so that's why often it's not easy to like or love or wear them. And I was kind of skeptical about Existence at first because honestly, like aldehydes and Lily of the Valley, they might sound dated, and I was just not sure I will love it. But I found this fragrance really pleasant. Like, it's very far off from Guidance. Guidance is very like, creamy and I don't know, warm kind of fragrance, and this one is more clean and cold and just kind of mysterious. It's a very unique scent. I haven't tried anything like that before. It opens up with lots of Lily of the Valley and with lots of aldehydes, so I would say it's like kind of a cold, clean floral in the opening. You know, you have to not mind the aldehydes or Lily of the Valley because, like I've said, they're very prominent in the beginning. And quickly you also start smelling something balsamic, something resinous. It kind of like reminds me of some kind of like spiritual smells, like mysterious smells, smell of church, because I just don't know, I have these associations. You know, sometimes you walk into the store that sells essential oils, that sells like a bunch of, I don't know, mystic kind of stuff, and that's the smell I get from Existence, but it's not overpowering. I would say that it's in the background of Lily of the Valley and of aldehyde, so it's bearable for me. Like, I'm not a fan of this kind of smell, but here I like it and I find it very unique and interesting and really brings something mysterious and esoteric to this fragrance. And I like the dry down even more than the opening. The opening is kind of challenging and mysterious and esoteric, like I've said, but the dry down is more understandable for me. It's more easy to wear and it's just a good smelling fragrance on the dry down. And the dry down really smells like warm pile of laundry. You know, you took your laundry off from the dryer and it's so warm and it's so clean and crisp and fresh, and it just smells like the clean laundry in the best possible way, and that's how it dries down to me. I really love the dry down. The dry down is a lot more approachable, like I've said. It's a lot more easy, simple to understand and simple to wear. So I would say that this fragrance is unique and definitely worth trying. And you know, if you're a fan of perfumes, then definitely you have to, you know, enter the world of Amouage because it's so interesting. It's definitely worth trying, even if you're not going to be wearing it, because I don't know, it just expands your perfume horizons. And of course, to like it, you need to like Lily of the Valley and aldehydes. At least you have to not mind them. Like, you do not have to be like biggest fan of it, but you have to at least not mind it. And when it comes to age for this perfume, I would say that any age can wear it, but probably like if you're really young, you know, below 20, maybe it would be a bit too much, because at least I remember myself at like 19, 18, I was gravitating towards Victoria's Secret scents, very sweet, juicy, fruity scents, and like this is not something that I would wear definitely, but of course all people are different, so you can wear it at any age, but maybe, you know, not when you're like super young. And season for it, I think it's all year round is very appropriate even in the heat, because it kind of has this like clean, cold floral accords that are gonna be okay even in heat, but probably do not overspray it in heat. And I'm really curious to see how it will open up in the cold weather, because it might open up beautifully, it might not. You know, aldehydes and Lily of the Valley, they behave unpredictably, at least for me, in the cold. So we'll see when the cold happens and I will update you guys when I wear it in the cold. And so these were my thoughts about Existence by Amouage. So, and the next three scents I want to discuss are by Gucci, and I'm talking about the three new brand scents from them. It's Osmanthus Nectar, Vanilla Firenze, and Tears from the Moon. And I want to start with my most favorite and end with my least favorite. And so my most favorite was Osmanthus Nectar, and honestly, I like had no expectations about this scent. I thought that Vanilla Firenze will be my favorite because, as you guys know, I love vanilla. I love like deep, warm scents. And Osmanthus, I'm fairly neutral towards Osmanthus. Like if it's done well, I like it, but I never find myself like gravitating towards this note. So that's why I was really surprised. But to me, this is like the best Osmanthus I've ever smelled, and this is the best tea scent that I've ever smelled. Like I make this big statement because I wore it for more than a week now, and I just like it more and more. And so to me, this fragrance is primarily, you know, a tea and Osmanthus fragrance. And you get apricot in the opening. It's like kind of juicy, bright apricot, but also it's not like overly juicy, if you know what I mean. It's kind of like skin of apricot. It's more subdued and toned down. It does not smell like you juiced apricots or like you crushed them. It smells like they're still intact. It just you took off the skin from them, and the aroma really fills up the room. So it's kind of gentle and approachable apricot. It's not overly glowing or overly juicy or overly sweet. And then as the fragrance dries down, I smell lots of tea and lots of Osmanthus. And Osmanthus really does make the scent very creamy, so like sun-drenched kind of. It reminds me of, you know, sitting somewhere in the library, you're surrounded by books and it's summer and you have a bowl of apricots next to you and you're reading the book. It's a summery kind of vibe, you know, and you get the smell of apricots and you're drinking tea, and it's just so good. You know, it just gives me good vibes. It's elevated and sophisticated, and it makes a statement, but it's not too little or too much, just appropriate amount of everything in here. And that's why I'm a big fan of it. And it smells very sunny, you know, like I've said, it's kind of summery, happy perfume, but it's not juvenile or simple. It has the complexity about it. It has something unique, something that you would not find in a lot of perfumes. And it has something that kind of, you know, scratches the itch. Like it's not that simple. It's not like you smell it and you think, oh, I smelled it like 300 times before. This is something unique, something interesting. And if you like the notes of Osmanthus, the note of tea, definitely give this one a try. Like this now, it's my favorite tea scent, and I highly suggest it to anybody who is looking for a really good tea scent. And the next scent is Vanilla Firenze, and I also like Vanilla Firenze, but to me it's slightly more challenging than Osmanthus Nectar, and this one has definitely strong seasonality in my opinion. This is something that I would want to wear in the fall and in the winter when the air is a bit cooler, when there is breeze, you know, when you're wearing a sweater, because it just has this kind of vibe. It kind of reminds me of dark academia, of universities, like old libraries, something kind of deep and mysterious and just kind of dark. And so it does smell like vanilla, but in the opening you get this kind of peppery spice because there is pepper, black pepper, and cardamom. And then as it dries down, you get lots of creaminess from vanilla, but vanilla here is not cupcakey, it's not light, it's kind of like, you know, more natural vanilla and more deep and interesting take on vanilla. It does not smell sweet, you know, it adds sweetness to this perfume, but this is not super sweet perfume, at least in my opinion. There's myrrh, there's benzoin, so it's definitely, you know, it definitely has this balsamic and resinous qualities, and add the spices to it, and that's what you get. Like I've said, you know, it's a dark take on vanilla, and it's darker than eau d'oeil because some people, you know, compare it and contrast it to eau d'oeil, and I think this one is darker, and I think that this is very appropriate for fall and winter. And I kind of wanted to wear it in the fall and winter. I'm excited, but now it's very hot in Florida, so I haven't gotten a lot of chances to wear it. I mean, I tested it at home, but no way I'm wearing it outside in this heat. So these were my thoughts about Vanilla Firenze, and I highly suggest anybody who likes like deeper, darker vanillas, mysterious, resinous, balsamic vanillas to try this scent because it's really good. And last but not least is Tears from the Moon. And while I liked this perfume, it was my least favorite from the lineup. So, you know, somebody had to take the third spot, but I still find it really pleasant. And to me, it smells like a very dewy and delicate floral scent. I get lots of Lily of the Valley and I get lots of peony here. So it smells kind of blue, you know, like if the color of the perfume was visible, then it would be blue to me, or blue or white, like very kind of gentle and princessy, and it would be like a perfect bridal scent because, like I've said, it just smells so natural. It smells very dewy. It smells like you just picked these flowers and you put them together in a bouquet, and you still have some like dewy drops on them from the morning, you know, like how the grass is kind of wet in the morning, so you still have those droplets on the flowers, and you inhale this aroma and it just smells like freshly picked flowers. Like, it doesn't smell perfumey, it doesn't smell artificial, it just smells very simple and very, very floral. You know, there's nothing else except florals, so it's like kind of linear scent, and it's kind of a scent, you know, that will be simpler because there is obviously not a lot of complexity because it's a floral scent and there's no citrusy or woody or sweet notes. There's nothing like that, so you get fairly linear smell, but it still smells very good. Like, if you want something simple, something very, very spring forward, something slightly refreshing for the summer, then try Tears from the Moon, you know. But of course you have to love florals, like fresh dewy florals, and of course, you know, you have to like Lily of the Valley and Peony. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I really hope that you liked it, and please let me know, have you tried any of these perfumes, and if so, what did you think about them? Please share your opinion in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!